Hey,
There we
hey.
go. Does anyone else do like a little bit of a rave like while all that's going on?
Just like headbanging along to its waiting.
That's it. Folks, the Audible, welcome back. We're in week 9. Week 8 was an absolute blinder for some of us. For some of us, not so much. As you can see, we've got a guest on with us. Do you want to introduce yourself, buddy?
Yes, hello, my name's Tom. I'm a Baltimore Ravens fan, as you may be able to see. Played a little bit of ball for the Humber Warhawks and know Steve for a good number of years now through a former life in a former job.
So Humber, good bunch of guys there. We played them in the playoffs. They didn't stop fighting throughout the whole thing. I'm not sure if you were at that game.
Last year, I was the year before. I stopped playing at the end of the year before. So
okay.
Lost a playoff game to you guys last year, didn't
So
I?
I have played against you then, because I was at Chester Romans.
Yes.
Yeah.
I did Chester Romans, yes. On the hottest AstroTurf known to mankind that day.
Listen, I've never seen so many mud holes in my life in your pitch. I'm glad you've changed pitch now. Yes. Brilliant. Well, listen, folks, lock in your fantasy football teams. It is week 9 we're going into. Some of you might be watching from the comfort of your sofa, from the comfort of a bath, from the comfort of your bed. We don't know. We'd like to know. Drop a comment. We're going to be changing a few things up. Lee's going to be telling us why he's incorrectly done his order of the power rankings. But let's go. Let's do this how we always do it. Lee, what have you been up to? First of all, before you say that, Lee, I do want to say sorry for your loss on your beloved dog. Animals are a fantastic part of our lives. I get enough grief from stalkers about my love of my animals, but Lee, I truly do. I'm sending you and your loved ones lots of love.
Cheers, mate. I mean, it's he's been in our family for 12 years, so he's it's like I say, it's always tough losing a pet, but this little fluff ball that keeps running around, you probably see him darting behind me. He's keeping me entertained for now, so it's all good. What's been happening with me? Rookie days. We've had our second rookie day now, and had a really good turnout for both the senior and the junior team. So the cats are definitely looking good this year.
Do you get anyone turning up and you're like, oh? If you get what I mean, like, when.
Do you know what? Do you know what I mean? One of the things that Cats struggled with last year was the big guys. Everyone struggles with the big guys, don't they? But we really struggled. In some of our games, our linemen were playing both ways. When you're going up against people like the Warriors and the Blitz, they soon start flagging by the time it comes to the fourth quarter. So to see so many big guys turning up and saying, "I want to play O-line," it's like, oh, yes.
Hey, do you know what? I always say you've got to give your O-line a hell of a lot of love, and your D-line as well, because you don't associate that sport with fit big guys, but I wasn't a big guy, no longer now. But no, brilliant. Steve, what have you been doing, mate?
Been out and about, been and played some pool, had some drinks. Went to an impromptu gig, like a band gig, at some point last week. There were a bit of a Fleetwood Mac about them. It's quite cool. And then obviously just lots of NFL. Was it Coach Ross who asked last week? Because I have done the numbers and I have worked out.
Oh, there we go. How long? Oh, I had to bet with Lee how long it would get you to take this. Go on, mate. Maybe just get out now. Go
on. So we're looking. We're not that far off. Matteo,
not that far off.
You're at 59.5%.
Okay.
For picks up through week 8. Lee's on 60.3 and I'm on 70.2.
So all that tells me, Steve, is you're better than this and us.
It just tells me he's lucky, like his team. We're going to talk about a lucky team, and it's not the Chiefs having dodgy referee decisions. But
I don't know what you're doing. No idea what you're talking about.
Well, yeah, I deny that too. What about yourself, buddy? Our guest this week. What have you been up to?
The job I work in, so I'm half term, so I've had a week of what should have been relaxation, but I've actually been installing a new ensuite and helping the missus buy a car. So it's been.
Whoa! I sell cars. I'm a car salesman. I am your man. He who dares, Rodney. He who. No, seriously, I do. Drop me a message, by the way, mate. There's me plugging to all of a sport tank. Well, me, what have I been doing? Do you know what I've been doing? I've been getting back into me running. I've just done my clean shave, ready for Movember. I do that. I try and do that every year. Going for the full Freddie. I say Freddie. It's horrendous. And we've got Stephen Coufard, my old boss here. Luckily I can hide all the comments because he would put some banging stuff about me. No, but on a serious note, been smashing the gym, getting ready for. I've also been buying a practice football kicking stuff for maybe field goals or punting. Don't ask me why. It is what it is. I haven't told my wife and she's listening. I am so sorry. I'm just giving it. I'm just giving it. Do you know what? It's a hard sport to walk away from, but I am just doing it as a bit of practice. There's a pitch near mine. I'm going to be getting on. But I'm in holiday mode in a few weeks. Thank you very much, Steve. As are you, buddy. We need to catch up soon. But yeah, loads going on. Watched the NFL on Sunday, which was spot on. Oh, we've got a comment from Troy, who's from Colorado. I was best man for his wedding. Hello, Troy. How's it going, mate? But no, I was watching the game. For me, it wasn't the best week of football because there was a lot of games that were still. There was more than 2 scores in the game, but overall, it was a good week for me. I'm a Bronco. I was happy with my team. Mate, she's always the boss. She's always. If anyone else who's got a partner here, they're always the boss. We know how it is. But let's get on to week 8. Okay, so Chargers versus Vikings. This kind of set the tone for the week. 56% of the public voted for the Chargers to beat the Vikings. And they didn't just beat them, they absolutely spanked them 37-10. What is going on with the Vikings? Myself and Steve, we backed the Chargers, and Lee, with his wisdom, looked into his mystic ball. He was wrong. Look, I think the Vikings, they're in big trouble. That's a really, really unconvincing performance by them. They won't be happy with that at all. Chargers have had a few good results this season. But I'm going to go to Lee for your comments on this one, mate. Did you catch this one? Did you watch the highlights? What's going on?
Yeah, I mean, I watched it the next day, and you know, it was a really poor performance by Carson Wentz. You know, and listening to, you know, some of the information that's coming out, you know, he's now on the PUP list. He's apparently he's done quite a lot of damage to his left shoulder. You know, from a couple of weeks ago, he's actually fractured the socket of his shoulder. It's not his throwing shoulder, but you know, even just a fracture anywhere on your body is definitely going to hurt, and it's going to impinge on your motion of throwing and stuff. So, you know, I picked the Vikings because I thought, you know, that there's been so many upsets, you know, in the games leading up until week 8, that the Vikings may have come along and put that upset onto the Chargers. But you know, fair play to the Chargers. You know, Harbaugh come out there with a fantastic game plan and really put it on. Really put it onto the Vikings there. But yeah, I mean, Ben's saying there, you know, Wentz played with one shoulder. It's worrying that the Vikings would play him over JJ. Exactly that. I mean, you know, as a head coach, you know, you're there as, you know, looking after the welfare of your players. You know, that's your sole job. You know, you've got to be thinking about your players.
Sorry, you're talking, mate. You know the rules. You got to read this one.
Oh, right. Sorry, there's someone's posted there. It's remind me of that episode of South Park when the owner went out of his own on his own and took every snap and got battered. Yeah.
I would like to also remind you, since Homer Simpson bought the Denver Broncos, the Cowboys have never beat the Broncos since. Carry on, mate.
I saw that meme on Facebook. But yeah, I mean, it's just, I think, you know, the Chargers had the better game plan. They came out, they wanted it more, they were hungry more, and you know, with Carson with his dodgy shoulder, and he was wincing, and he wasn't putting everything into it.
Playing with one shoulder isn't for everyone. I can vouch for that. Steve, any stats on this one for me, mate? First game of the week.
Before I go into that, what I was going to say is, as you said, all the games were almost blowouts. And one of my stats of the week this week, this is the first week ever in the NFL since 1970 where only one game was decided by single digits.
Yeah.
It's absolutely insane. But
that was the goddamn Jets as well.
It was the Jets.
It was the Jets.
But yeah, I agree. JJ needs to come back. I think they sort of just gave him an extra week because he went off injured. He needs to come back. They played all right when they had him, but I don't know what's happened to their defense. They went from having a relatively solid defense to absolutely nothing. But Justin Herbert and that Gadsden connection, that's looking kind of scary.
See what happens. Tom, did you catch this game, mate?
I caught the highlights the next day. I think it's one of those. I think the Chargers are, I don't want to use the phrase dark horse, but they're a complete team. There's no real glaring weaknesses top to bottom. They are a solid team. And then, yeah, with the Vikes, obviously, I think, again, it's their QB away from being, well, the team that they were last year. And obviously, they let that quarterback walk out the door and probably somewhat regretting that, I imagine now. So, yeah, not massively surprised to see the Chargers win that one. But, yeah, they look pretty solid, I think. They might be one to look out for, Steve, in the West.
Okay. Next up, we had the Falcons against the Dolphins. Now, who in the world would have thought this? Because 94% of the public and all three of us brainiacs picked the Falcons to beat the Dolphins. Did the Dolphins get beat? No, they won 34-10. They just didn't win. They absolutely smashed it. The Dolphins outrushed the Falcons by nearly 100 yards on Sunday. What the fudge? Where is this Dolphins team being? Is it a one-off blip? Are we going to see something happen? Has something changed in the background? I don't know. The Falcons have been a bit inconsistent, but to get spanked like that by, and I quote, maybe the worst team in the NFL this season, arguably up there. I want to go with Tom first. Tom, did you catch this one? Were you shocked? Is your mouth gone up yet since that?
I didn't catch much of the game live. I was watching the Ravens at the time. But Tua has one of these a year, doesn't he? He has one game a season, maybe when the haze is cleared slightly from the concussions. And he lays out these ridiculous performances. And it gives you a kind of room for optimism that maybe there is something there. And then, I'm sure this week...
I think we've got a Falcons fan there.
Ben is a Falcons fan.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I didn't watch this. I don't know how much of a difference it made not having Penix and obviously Cousins play, didn't they?
Yeah.
So, I can't imagine that making a huge amount of difference. But I just think it's one of those. It was one of those tour games, and then I'm sure this week, obviously, they're playing the Ravens this week, which I won't spoil that one. We'll come to that. But I think it was just a bit of a mirage, to be honest.
I think we're not giving enough credit to the Dolphins defense who actually turned up for this game because they turned up ready to play. Obviously, the Falcons had a banged up offense. You can talk about that aspect of it, but even the defense didn't turn up, whereas Miami's offense and defense did well in Miami. Steve, you're up next, mate.
So going into the game, Kirk Cousins was sort of saying that he was trying to get a starting position somewhere in the league, and I don't think he's helped his case at all with this game. Tua, as said, Tua's had a good game, but it was also the Dolphins' best rushing week since week 3. Like they as a whole unit of offense, they turned up. One of my favorite things I saw. So the Dolphins went into the game as the league worst rushing defense, and then they held Bijan Robinson to 13 yards. So as you said, the defense turned up and they were ready for the game.
Yeah. Okay. Lee, you're up next, buddy.
Yeah, I was expecting so much more from Kirk Cousins. Seen him on some of those, documentaries, quarterback and other things that he's appeared on. He is a veteran quarterback, and you expected him to step into this role, and like Steve said, he's going to compete for a starting role somewhere in the league. We can think of plenty of teams out there who could really do with a QB1 right now, and Kirk Cousins could have been that man, but after that performance, I can't see him even getting onto a practice squad anywhere. But just looking at the Dolphins' schedule over the next few weeks, and Tom was saying that they've got the Ravens coming up this week. Yeah, they've got the Bills coming up. They've got some really tough games coming up. And
who's in their division?
So they've got the Patriots, the Bills, and the Jets. So there's a potential easy win them for the Jets. And there's a potential win at the Saints as well. I think they've got on their schedule. So yeah, it's not looking hopeful for these Dolphins. They may finish the season on a 4-13, which obviously puts them in the top part of the draft next year. But I don't think they can salvage anything this year. I think it's just damage limitations, I think, for them.
If they end up top half of the draft, do you think they draft a new QB? Do you think they're going to stay on
They
Tua?
have to. They have to.
Absolutely.
They have to. They really do have to. All right. We're going to go on to the next game. So all three of us and 70% of the public backed the Ravens to beat the Bears, which they did 30-16. However, we all backed them because we all thought Lamar Jackson was back. Tyler Huntley, absolute kudos, as well as the Ravens defense. They turned up, they balled out 30 points to 16 against, a Bears that have got a few wins on the game. Is this the start of the Ravens clawing back? I said last week, I can't remember who else said, I know one of you disagreed, that can the Ravens get a wild card, even though up until last week they'd only won one game? Yes, absolutely. So Tom, we're going to come to you last in this one. You can give us your heart and love on the Ravens. But for me, the Ravens defense turned up. Kudos to the offense as well, without Lamar Jackson, Tyler Huntley stepping up big time. I'm going to go to Lee for this one first. Oh, hang on, wait there. We've got a comment, and I'm going to not agree with this, but kind of laugh. 3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah. Pro Bowl QB Tyler Huntley. Yeah. Well, he did make that appearance a couple of years ago when I think it was Lamar was out injured, so he stepped up and went to the Pro Bowl. So he did make an appearance at the Pro Bowl. I don't think he performed that well at the Pro Bowl, but he was there. So the Ravens, can they come back from this deficit? Lamar Jackson is coming back. Derrick Henry's now, he's looking like the old Derrick Henry when he's running through defenses, and the defenses stood their ground as well. So I think overall this could possibly be the comeback that they want, but they've got to have that clean slate. They can't really afford to drop any games from now until the postseason if they really want to contend to make the playoffs. But yeah, I'd love to hear what you think on this one.
It's a must-win for the Ravens. So if they went 1-6, the chances of making the playoffs fell below 1%. So they really needed this win just to be within a shot, be within a chance. It was a great game for Tyler Huntley. The turning point was it was 16-13. It was when the Ravens picked off Caleb and just dropped 17 points on them. That was really good. But the thing I'm interested in, as Matteo said, that we all thought Lamar was playing, the Ravens are actually being investigated for misrepresenting his level of practice.
Yeah, I've seen that. They were looking at getting fined, so you don't know whether they've been forced to make that decision to drop him. It's an interesting one, that, because I did see that. Okay. Tom, give us you're here, passionate. Let's go, Bengal. Sorry, the Bengals.
What?
Ravens. I won't do that to you again, mate. I'll try my best. Don't worry. I sport another orange team. We're okay at the moment. Go on, mate. You're up.
Where do you begin with that? Obviously starting off with that Lamar thing, there is supposedly, and it all goes back to his contract extension a few years ago, apparently there's quite a strong disconnect between Lamar, because he doesn't have an agent, he does it all himself, and the kind of head office with the Ravens, and I think they thought he was good to go, and Lamar took it upon himself to decide he was not good to go.
That is mental.
Reading to that, whatever you want. But as a game, it asked questions of why did we sign Cooper Rush to that contract when Tyler Huntley was available and has been a proven starter for us. I say Pro Bowl Tyree. Now he's done it before. But it was one of those games where we just stuck to what Ravens are good at. Tyler can somewhat represent what Lamar does. Probably as close as anybody you could be as a number 2. But we ran the ball. That's what the Ravens do better than.
Yeah. You're a run offense team. That's your job. And
what I would say we've got to look forward to, obviously Lamar comes back and that opens up so much stuff for Henry on the play options. We've got Keaton Mitchell, who's now starting to get a bit of traction and who's absolutely lighting the ball. The guy is unreal. And then defensively, players coming back from injury always helps. We've got Kyle Hamilton, who's now dropping into the box a little bit more, just letting him affect every play. For me, you could argue, he's defensive player of the year caliber. I'm saying he's necessarily played that this year, but he's that level of ability. And we're going to miss Madubuike in the middle. I still think we've got issues. Interior pass rush is basically non-existent, and that is going to cause problems later in the season if we get to the postseason. We'll come to that in a second. But with Lamar, I would back us to win any game. And that's where it's at. We showed those couple of games that without him, we look pretty pedestrian real quickly. And then Lamar comes in, and all of a sudden we're dropping 36 points a game again. He is that level of player. So yeah, you touched about the postseason. I don't think we'll get the playoffs as a wild card. We'll win the division.
Oh,
we're gonna win the division. I mean, the Browns and Bengals.
Who's in your division?
Steelers,
that's a
Bengals, and
big
Browns.
statement, that mate.
Yeah.
Go on.
Well, the Browns are done. The Browns.
Yeah.
Week 1.
Browns.
The Bengals have been cooked since week 1. Basically, as soon as he's gone down, they're done. And the Steelers are the most mediocre team you can imagine.
I know, but
Green Bay the other night, they're just mediocre. The Ravens' schedule is easy.
They got beat by the 6-1-1 Packers. That's a running joke we've got with Steve. Look, I think the Steelers will do okay this season. I don't think they're going to go all the way, but I do think I don't know. It's a good shout, mate. Look, with Jackson back, the world's your oyster. We'll see. But what we're going to do, we're going to move on to the next one, which was most probably the other shock of the week. The goddamn Jets won a game. 90% of the public and all of us three back the Bengals to beat the Jets. Why wouldn't we? Because the Jets have been awful. The Jets pulled
Oh. Well, there we go. I'll pick it up then. Yeah, so...
I'm back. I don't even know what happened there. What the hell happened? Right, as I was.
I thought your table fell over then.
Do you know what? Could you imagine? FYI, I've got a makeshift table because my wife's moved the table downstairs because that's what I do. Anyway, so yeah, the Jets won 39-38. It was a bit of a mental one. I don't know how it happened. I'm sure we're all questioning that. Breece Hall, for me, was the player of the game. Not only was an absolute force with his legs, he can pass the ball. A trick play wins them the game. It was a brilliant finish to a high-scoring game. Defense, particularly not great, but overall, if you're a Jets fan, you're just happy you've got to win. You've got to win on the track. I'm going to go with Tom. Did you watch this one, mate? If you didn't, mate, don't worry about it. No one's going to be offended because...
All right. I literally caught the last 5 minutes. The Ravens game flew by pretty quickly because, like I said, everybody decided to run all day, so the clock went by quick. So I caught the end of that one. I'd put in the WhatsApp group I'm in with Steve. I still love Joe Flacco. He's still elite. He's still playoff Joe. Love the guy. So there's a little part of me that's rooting for him. However, the fact that he lost 39-38 is probably the ideal kind of outcome there. He played pretty well, and the Bengals lost. Result, happy with that?
Yeah, you would be happy with that. Steve, anything on this one?
So what I liked about this game, I like it when sort of things seem to look like they're happening for a reason. Nick Mangolo, an ex-Jet player, passed away the morning of the game, and then the Jets went and won the game, which I just thought was just a nice full circle thing for them to manage to do. Breece Hall, man, that was a game. There's rumours of him being traded. That's definitely put his stock right up. He's the first non-QB to ever, in the fourth quarter, rush for 2 touchdowns and pass for a touchdown. The Bengals are the worst run franchise of all of American pro sports. The team has ran like a fantasy football team. It sort of ran like your fantasy football team, Matteo, I'd say.
Oh, mate. Let's not get into that. Yeah. We'll
0-8. 0-8. That's all we're going to say, guys. 0-8.
Yeah.
Not 8-0. Not Bengals 8-0. I'll tell you that. I was
going to say the other thing. Isaiah Davis has made a good point for RB1 if Breece gets traded. I think he did pretty decent for sort of like the second half of that game.
Are you not human if you're Joe Flacco though? Because you're putting points on and you're like looking at your defense going, just stop them. Everyone else just stopped them. Just stop them.
Yeah. Hey, look, I've never hidden it. I don't really like the Bengals. I've sort of hated them since they started trying that whole Burrowhead thing. So I love seeing them lose, and it's fine seeing them lose now because they've actually got a good QB. So like when Burrow went down, it was a bit pointless watching them lose. But now it's like puts a smile on my face when I watch them lose now, especially to the Jets, man.
Well, Lee, I'm gonna have to hear your comment, mate. What are you thinking about this one?
I mean, it's pretty much what you both guys are saying. The offenses turned up, the defense didn't. I think we could have probably put a brick ball team out there as defense, and they'd have performed better than that. It was.
Put me in, coach. Put me in.
It was pretty much like that. It was shocking. It really was shocking. And I've got to take my hat off to to the Jets head coach. Glenn, what's his name? Glenn. He went for it. 2 times when the Jets scored a touchdown to go for 2-point conversion, and both times they got it. So the third time they scored the touchdown, all they needed was that extra point. So they went for the PAT, and they ended up winning by that 1 point. So hats off to Aaron Glenn. That was it, Aaron Glenn. Hats off to him, because I think that's probably been his best performance as a head coach so far, and he's probably just saved his seat for the rest of the season. However, again, the Jets, how many games can they win? Is this their only win of the season?
You imagine they're going to try and push to be bit from this. I haven't looked at week 9 properly. I mean, I say I haven't. I've already done my picks, but I want to go over week 9 later if they've got a game. I know there's a few teams with a bye week. It's going to be an interesting one. This next one for me wasn't so interesting. 92% of the public and all of us three backed the Bills to beat the Panthers. They won 40 points to 9. James Cook absolutely steamrolled for that offense. He just smashed it for them. Literally run after run after run. And he's one of the best backs in the NFL for me at the moment. But I've not really got much to say in this. The Panthers just look that bad. We've got a comment here. It's a big comment as well. Why do the NFL international player pathways not start young European athletes off in college? Football is such a complex game that is madness trying to get to NFL without playing CFB. Listen, mate, you won't find a part of me disagreeing with you. I do the Monday nights when the British American football scene is on the go. I've said that we need a team in every town and every city. My old team, Holton Spartans, tried to get back on the go. I know it's kind of diverting from his comment a bit. I'm baffled. We're like, well, you're too close to other teams. There's players who want to play for Holton Spartans who don't want to play for anyone else. So yeah, it needs to be so much better in college, on the European level, on so many levels. But when you compare us to the rest of Europe, on some aspects, we are very much behind. Lee, I'm going to go through on this one, mate. I haven't really got much to say. I don't think we've really got much to say in it. Have you got anything to say in it? Was anything?
No, I mean you already mentioned it there. James Cook won me some fantasy football leagues this time round. He absolutely burned that fantasy league. It was brilliant. I loved it. So yeah, I mean the Bill. It was an expected win, and the as you'll see in my power rankings later, the Bills have now stamped their way back into a position of power again.
I can't take them power rankings serious when I seen where the Broncos were. Steve, I mean, look, I've said there's not really much to say in it, but we need to obviously mention Buffalo's defense. It's an encouraging step. It's a better week for them. Have you got any stats? You're the stat man. You're the stat man.
It's almost like you read my mind. What I was going to say.
Don't if we get copyrighted for that, I'm getting chewed by Steve.
The last 6 games before this game, the Bills had 0 takeaways, and they forced 3 takeaways against the Panthers. So the defense did do it. But all I'm going to say is the same as what I said last week. Go back and look at who the Bills have beaten. There's no one impressive they've beaten. Until they play a good team.
Who've they beaten so far this season, mate?
They beat the Panthers. They've beaten the Saints. I think they beat the Jets. Who else have they played? They've played. It's just all absolute low caliber teams they've beaten. They've not really beaten anyone good.
They beat us week 1.
Yeah, he said no one any good.
Yeah,
mate.
exactly.
I'm joking.
That was a game we should have won. That was just bizarre. Well, deflected catches going for touchdowns, all sorts of crazy things happened for him to come back and win that one. But yeah.
Okay. But Have you got anything to say in this one, Tom? We may as well
No,
come
I
to you
didn't catch it at all.
Okay.
Other than I had Cook in one of my fantasy teams as well, and pretty much single-handedly won that game for me too. But other than that, yeah, I think everybody pretty much expected that, didn't they? Really.
Okay. Well, we're going to move on to the next one. It's a little bit of a closer game because again, there's literally one game with one score in it. I think the Texans surprised us all. They've been a bit rubbish, inconsistent. 85% of the public and all three of us back to 49ers. And the 49ers were flat, 26 points to 15. CJ Stroud doing things that, just doing the job, doing what he's paid to do. I also have to give kudos to Houston's D line. They were absolutely spot on throughout the whole thing. I'm going to go to you, Tom, first. Did you catch any of this one, mate? Again, if you didn't, mate, no one's going to cry. I wouldn't have watched it either.
No, to be fair, I didn't catch any of it, or then literally a 30-second highlight little.
It wasn't a game that sought my interest. I'll be honest. There's teams at the moment like I'm quite interested to see what the Patriots are doing because they've just turned up out of nowhere. The Eagles and the Giants, we'll talk about that later on. The Bucks are brilliant. The Colts, wow. Obviously the Broncos, Packers, Chiefs, Chargers. They're the teams I'm kind of really wanting to watch at the moment and see what's going on. So I understand why you missed it. Steve, anything on this one, mate?
So Stroud has been sacked a lot this season, but as you said, like the O-line turned up, and it's shown that when he's actually protected, he does show promise as a QB.
It was like it was 2023 again.
Yeah, I know, it's insane. The Niners didn't really give any D-line pressure, and I don't really understand why they weren't. But again, was it the O-line? Was it the D-line just not really pressuring? And on top of that, I can't remember the names, but there were more 49er injuries again. Like they're just getting hurt every week.
Yeah. I mean that's exactly what I'm picking up from this game is the fact that it's the 49ers are injury ridden. I mean, yes, they've got some of the players back. They've got George Kittle back, but they're still without Brock Purdy. They're still playing Mac Jones in that QB, and it's Kyle Shanahan, is really struggling to field a team. Let alone a good team. He's just struggling to field a team. So
put me in, coach. Put me in.
This is it again. It's in how far on that depth chart do you go? We said about this with the Chargers.
At the bottom of the pile, I'd be, mate. Don't worry.
Yeah. But yeah, it's. I mean, again, it was an exciting game. The Texans won fairly. But again, it would be nice to see the Niners in fully healthy and fully functional. Everyone said that they had the easiest schedule, and they're struggling. They're struggling.
Well, as long as it's not my team, I don't care. Moving on.
Sort of ruined this whole point of this whole podcast.
I don't care. I am the captain now. Anyway, moving on. We all three of us and 72% of the public backed the Patriots to beat the Browns. The other 28% of the public was smoking what's going on in Jamaica at the moment. Hang on, we've got a comment here. Niners have two good guys in the front seven. Both of them are out for the year. That's never going to help anyone. Again, I am available. 32-13, despite the fact that Myles Garrett recorded 5 sacks. 5 sacks. He was livid. I don't know if you've seen the footage at the end of that game, and quite rightly so. Offense, just do your job. But Patriots creativity, they look good. They're on it. Can they go all the way? Maybe. I don't know. If you're a Patriots fan now, you're singing like it's Tom Brady era. Tom who? But I'm going to go to Tom. Did you catch any of this one, mate? Or are you one of them where you detest the Patriots as much as I detest the Chiefs?
I do detest Patriots after many years of run-ins and over years. I did watch the extended highlights for this one because I'm with you guys. I think the Pats are actually quite good. They're pretty solid.
They are.
They're pretty good. We've got wild card written all over them, haven't they? May, I think, has proven he's got the beans. He's going to be sticking around. We've got a receiver called Booty Call receiver. He's absolutely unbelievable. I love that guy. They're a solid team, front to back. Not necessarily the most exciting, but they'll get the job done. Vrabel is one of those old school guys, isn't he? He knows what it takes to win. He's just going to run the ball down the throats and a bit of play action or whatever else. So, I did catch great extended highlights. Browns and
Oh.
We're losing players. We're
I
losing
know,
people.
yeah.
Oh,
We
We're
look
losing
like
people.
I didn't cut you off there, mate. Even though you're a
All right.
Ravens fan, looks like we've got a few issues, folks. I do apologise. Do you want to carry on, mate? Well, I'm sure we'll get Steve back soon.
yeah, no, I'll just say, but just a solid team. Vrabel's, he's an old school guy. He knows what it takes to get in the playoffs. I think we've got a wild card over it. And the Browns, like I say, we're a one-man team. Myles Garrett, would love to have him on the Ravens right now. That'd be superb. But yeah, I don't think it'll surprise him, put it that way.
Oh, Steve, we've got some echo from you, mate.
Yeah, bear with it. The app decided to kick me back out for some strange reason, but anyway.
See, it's not just me. I like how it does it, but it did it to you, by the way, when I mentioned that I'm not a fan of your team. I didn't do it. I didn't press the button, just making you aware. Okay, Lee, we're going to go to you on this one.
Yeah, I mean, I flagged this up in our group chat. Myles Garrett, having an absolute bowler of a game. And that previous comment that we had up. Garrett has no room to complain. He stayed for the money, not success. Cleveland is not a city that wins. I could not agree more. This is an all-star player, a future Hall of Famer. A multiple Defensive Player of the Year award winner, and he is in a rubbish team.
Yeah.
These players, they attract themselves to the money rather than the Super Bowl rings. Myles Garrett should be on a team that is competing.
Mate, it's the same in Britball, but not for the money. I know players who've gone to teams who've been promised all the world in terms of game time, getting into GB, stuff like that, and it's making these young guys' eyes light up. And then they're on the bench, and then they're on the bench, and then they're on the bench, and then they've come back. You see it all the time. I had someone message me asking about joining, going slightly off topic here, about joining a team near me, and he's like, "What's it like?" And I was just like, "Don't do it. Don't do it. Get your game time. Do you want what you're trying to do playing this sport? I just want to play, enjoy myself. I went, stay with a team or go to a team. You can do that." But no, you are right. He's gone to that team for money. What's being sold to him on that? Because I know I do car sales, and people say you can sell sand to an Arab. Whoever sold him that dream, fair play, mate.
Money talks. Money talks.
We can't sing it. We're not copyrighted. Steve, I'm going to go to you quickly on this one. Anything on this, mate, before we go to the next one?
Yeah, it's all the same things. Drake May's looking good. Myles Garrett really should get traded. But also, Myles Garrett did become the first player ever to record 5 sacks in a game and lose by more than 3 points. Obviously, he went and lost by 19 points.
That is crazy. I mentioned that before because it was a record. He's broke a record, and how long has he been there? But yeah, right. Moving on. We had, for me, it was the sad game of the week. This one, the Eagles against the Giants, 38-20. We all backed the Eagles to beat the Giants. Now, I'm going to say this, and I'm going to try and say this, is that injury, and don't swear, that injury screwed up the Giants. Because he is clearly such a big personality to have on that team. I made a joke last week that he's going to have the best 2-3 season career ever, because after that, he's going to be mushed. Hang on, we've got a comment here. When does Shooter get a go?
Yeah.
But going back to this, yeah, Barkley had a belt of a game. The Eagles did the job, but for me, I kind of feel like with the Giants, their heads went when they when he got beat. When he got beat, when that injury happened, and you could see it. I was reading. Dart he did less than 60% of his passes for 193 yards. Compared to his other games, it wasn't good enough. But yeah, it's happened to us when I played for Buccaneers last year. One of our players, the captain, he did the same injury, exact same injury, running back catching a ball, and it proper affected the team. It affected the team going to playoffs into the final. But I hope he comes back because he's a great personality to have in this sport, and this sport definitely needs them personalities. Lee, I'm going to go to you on this one, mate. What were your thoughts? Do you agree? Do you disagree? What you think?
You know what? I mean, it's as much as obviously I want to beat the Giants and all that. I want to beat a team fair and square. And
oh yeah, we haven't even got to that bit yet.
Haven't
We'll
got
get
to that
to
bit yet.
stay you're on that bit, mate. Go on, carry on.
But to witness that injury from Scabo, it was absolutely horrendous, absolutely horrendous. And it is, I remember the commentators saying, oh no, they're making a big deal of it, and it is a big deal. It really is, and it's been great to see that the Philly players, Zach Braun, who tackled Scatbo and that incident, went to visit him in hospital, and he's been all over social saying how devastated he is to cause that injury on any player, and it's been good to see the Philly locals, getting behind Scatbo as well, and sending their regards. And a speedy recovery. But yeah, I mean, it was a great win for the Eagles. It's always good to win. Yeah, I mean, we're going to talk about the officiating in a minute. It was shocking. The refs were absolutely shocking. But I'll hand this over to Steve. But yeah, I mean, so yeah, hip drop tackles again causing injuries. At what stage are the league going to start policing them? I mean, they are. I have seen a couple of calls in a few games. I don't think that was a true hip drop. I think that was just an awkward landing tackle. I don't think the player wasn't running. He was leaping in the air. He went to make a move, and Zach Bourne was all over him and brought him down. But unfortunately, it was just a terrible injury. But yeah, Steve, what do you think on the officiating? I know you were texting me quite a few times throughout the game.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the refs were doing. So I put something in our group chat where I saw they reckon there were at least 11 calls that the refs missed or got incorrect. 8 of them went the Eagles' way, but it was on both sides. But first off, that 4th and 1 tush push in the first quarter, that was a fumble all day long. If you're going to
I seen that. I look, I don't like the tush push, whatever you want to bloody call it. I really don't like it. It's not in the spirit of the game. Although some people might argue and go, yeah, it is though. They're getting the ball over the line, but I have to agree with Steve on that. It was, and to say that they can't challenge it is absurd.
It's wild that they couldn't challenge it. It's also, what the refs have been allowing Jalen Hurts to be stopped in forward motion and then get a second push. If they're going to allow him the second push, they have to allow the defense the same.
Yeah,
and they hadn't blown for forward motion when that ball came out. So that is a fair fumble. That's taken, but it wasn't given. The neutral zone infraction when it was actually an offsides. I know it's hard to see that with the naked eye. And as Lee said, maybe the receiver was blocking the line judge, but that was offsides all day. And the refs sort of just ruined this game. Obviously Scatterboo, that's a horrible injury. I saw the Eagles chief of security took in some cheesesteaks and pizza, though, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yep.
But I like Dart. I really do like Dart. I know he's only a rookie, but when
you'd love him to be your minus you, because you guys have got a really good QB. Bo Nix is still kind of earning stripes. You'd love that guy to be your QB if
100%.
if you didn't have a QB that you were adamant on. And he's clearly a big personality as well. That's why him and Scatterboo were really good. But no, it wasn't the best performance. The refs officiating wasn't good enough, considering how much technology they have, for replays and stuff like that. Will something be done this season about the whole aspect of it? I don't think so. I think it's a next season thing. But I'd be encouraged to get Tom's views on this. Did you catch this one, mate? Did you see the? I mean, look, I would never. We can't hear it for licensing reasons, but I would never show that on this anyway. But wow.
I was aware of the injury during social media watching the Ravens game and saw the clips and stuff like that. And yeah, it's. I've been on the field as well with similar kind of injuries, and it's horrible. And it does. It affects the team. It can't not do. It would affect it for anybody. If that's your backup linebacker, it still affects you. But when it's him and the personality that he is and how important he's been for them, key integral part of the offense. Yeah, there's no way it's not going to affect you. Just on the tush push, it's one of them. I'm all for teams staying within the limits of the game and trying to exploit it, and it's up to the other team to stop them, right? I'm all for that. However, whether it's through whatever means it is, the NFL are incapable of officiating it. They should be able to, but they are incapable of it. And unless that changes, I tend to agree with what you said, Matt. I think that's an off-season change, and they're going to do something about that. They're going to do something because it's becoming. It was a matter. How many? It's every week now having some kind of conversation about touch push, aren't we? So something's going to give eventually on it.
I will say before we move on to the next one that when a team's doing well in the NFL, the conspiracy theorists are right up there with how much rubbish they chat. Than like, right, don't make it political. Don't make it political. Then you political idiots, believe that. Oh no, this is happening. Like you see it with like Tom Brady. Like, oh no, he was like telling the refs to like add seconds onto the game, and someone's photoshopped it, and they believe it, and it's one of them. Eagles are still a great team. But it'd be interesting.
Just one on this one. I mean, I'm obviously all for the tush push. Eagles fan, whatever.
Sure.
But I think this is very much like the kickoff. Last year the NFL brought the kickoff in. It didn't really work. It wasn't really happening. They then tweaked it again this year, and all suddenly everyone's happy. And there's lots of game time, and everyone's more than happy now. I think with the tush push, I don't think they should ban it. I think they're going at this the wrong way. I think what they should be doing is giving the officials more opportunity to go upstairs and say, hey, can you just make sure that this was a legal play? No one went offside. No one fumbled the ball. Allow the play to happen. Don't ban the tush push. Just because one team's really good at it, we shouldn't be banning it. If every other team could do it, there wouldn't be an issue. But it's just because the Eagles are good. Coach Ross says, although Scat is broken, he will still be in that locker room, giving all the players the juice that they need. Yeah, absolutely.
I can confirm he was rolling around in a wheelchair. He's got like a little wheelchair thing, and he's already in there. He's that type of guy where no matter what's going on, he's still going to be that crazy, crazy personality that you need in a locker room. Right, we've not even on to the next week yet, and we're 50 minutes in. So, Colts against the Titans. 100% of the public back the Colts because we all know it's going to happen. Hang on, wait there. We got another comment. It happens every few years. Pats with tackle eligible. Chiefs were with diamond and backfield formation now tush push. If a team finds something good, another 31 team's jealous because no, I agree on that part. But obviously, if it's a fumble, it's a fumble. Anyway, Colts spanked the Titans 38-14. I seen a funny video where someone's at a Titans game, hand them, like them sleep fit eye cover things, the Titans fans, and it's just bad. I've not really got much to say on this, other than Colts just look absolutely brilliant. They've consistently been good. I know I've missed a game. I will go back to that in a moment. But yeah, anyone, nothing. That's it. Colts, Super Bowl contenders, potentially. For me,
all I want to say is Jonathan Taylor needs to be in the MVP conversation. He's leading every single rushing stat, and he is the reason they're winning. I think I worked it out. He's getting 1.75 touchdowns a game, 21 touches a game on average. Like he is that team.
Yeah. Well, look, that result was expected. We're going to skip on that one. The Buccaneers against the Saints. The Buccaneers won 23-3. The Saints are absolutely awful. I don't think we've got anything to say on that. You're only as good as the team you're playing. Unfortunately, the team they're playing are just absolutely awful. So let's skip on to the next game. We all backed the Bucs to win. The Bucs won. Again, the Bucs have that argument to be number one in the power rankings. They are in a lot of people's eyes. Next game, Denver Broncos against the Dallas Cowboys. Then boys, 75% of the public backed the Broncos. Myself and Steve backed the Broncos. I know that hurt for Steve. Lee backed the Cowboys. Lee was clearly intoxicated last week. The Broncos won 44-24. It was a convincing win. And we avoided, I'm a Bronco, clearly, as you can tell by the jersey. They avoided that terrible slow start that we have. Bo Nix firing from the get-go. He thought, hey, let's not do this in the fourth quarter. Let's start from the get-go. And Cowboys just couldn't get anything done. We did have a bad injury, Patrick PS2 as we call him. That we'll see how long he's going to be out for. It's a shoulder injury. Someone just gets shot then. Calf lap. I tell you what, when your calf lap goes off, drug dealers in your area must drop to the floor. I'm going to go with Steve first. Have you got any stats for me on this one?
Yeah, so Dallas let themselves down. Like, obviously, I back the Broncos because the Broncos' defense is good. You're actually on track to break the sack record on a season if you carry on. But Dallas, in the first half, they had 6 pre-snap penalties. Like,
discipline. That's poor discipline, though.
They just let themselves down. They weren't disciplined enough. I think one of my favorite. One thing I wanted to pick up was the RPO for a 2-point conversion. You cannot take that long because linemen don't know if you're passing or not. Because there's an RPO, and if you take too long, they think you're running, and then suddenly you've got an ineligible man downfield. And the other thing I picked up is why on earth was Pickens wearing 2 different coloured mouth guards the whole game? Couldn't work that one out.
Loads of players do it. It's weird.
Listen, we spoke about this last week, but we have little hoodoos. My thing was is if we didn't get beat, I wouldn't wash my gear. I played for a team that got beat in the final game of the season. It was the only defeat they got. When someone tackled me, they were like, "Oh, what's that smell?" It was me. Tom, did you catch any of this, mate? I mean, I assume you really want to watch good football, so you did watch it.
Yeah, I got extended highlights. Yeah, just what you said as well. Nick's starting from the get-go and not leaving it late. Again, the Broncos are another team that look pretty solid front to back. You know, they're going to be thereabouts, aren't they?
Yeah. I mean, I'm always going to back my team. Oh, hang on, we've got a few comments here. Any news on the injury? I think he's been put on the injury roster.
So there's reports on from the insiders that it's possibly 4 to 6 weeks that he's going to be out for, which is a massive blow.
We've got some big games coming up as well, which we'll go into in a minute. Go on, Tom. What were you saying, mate? Sorry.
No, that was it. Basically saying, I think, obviously, like Steve said, defensively, tremendous.
Yeah.
You're good enough offensively at this point to keep growing as the season goes along. Nick's, again, he's one of them. A bit like what we're saying with May. I think he's got the beans. So it's just a case of taking the next step, isn't it, for him now?
Yeah.
You'll be thereabouts. The West is obviously taking out the Raiders out of the equation, but the West is remarkably competitive, isn't it? It's turned into quite an interesting division this year.
Steve came out with the best shout of the season that he thinks that group is going to have obviously a winner and 2 wild cards in that group. I agree with him. Yeah. Lee, I want to know your comments, and there's a comment to read there as well, mate, and it did make me chuckle, so I'll let you know.
So Dallas D is terrible, but watch Jones draft an O player. Absolutely. That is him all over. But I mean, do you know what? I'm super impressed with the Broncos. I messaged you boys earlier. You know, in the last 5 quarters of football, Dallas have scored 77 points. 77 points in the last 5 quarters of playing. That is absurd. Absolutely incredible. Yes, it's a crushing injury on Patrick, but every team suffers those injuries. You've got to come together as a team, and they've got DBs that are good. So hopefully,
if only they could score 33 points in the 4th quarter.
Yeah.
Okay. Next up, we had the Steelers against the 8-0 Packers. Who Steve said would be 6-1-1, and they are 1 win away from that because they won. Myself and Lee backed the Steelers. How we were wrong. 52% of the public, along with Steve, backed the Packers, and the Packers won 35-25. Convincing win. I've got nothing else to really say on it. Packers look really good. Again, they're a team that could be at a lot of people's power rankings. Great one. Packers controlled that game. They did what they had to do. Got the win. On to the next one.
So I think we should have an award for the most ugliest uniform in the NFL season.
Yeah.
Right, but surely that goes to who was it? We said the Saints.
The Saints. No, I'm sorry, but that kit the Steelers wore on Sunday was absolutely horrendous.
I've not seen the game, and I've not seen it, and I'm gonna have to watch it now.
Mate, it's terrible.
That bad?
Yeah. It's worse than the Saints. It's really bad.
Yeah. It's really bad.
It is bad.
Okay. Gents, have we got anything else to say in this? We're
Nope.
nearly an hour into this. I'm going to move on to this last one because this last one, wow, Chiefs turned up, got the job done. We all backed the Chiefs. The Chiefs beat the Redskins, Commanders, 28-7. Very convincing win for the Chiefs. The receivers are back, got the job done. Defense ball that as well. Hang on, wait there. We got sunglasses needed.
Sunglasses are needed.
I need to check this kit out, by the way, because this must be really bad. No more disrespect to Jordan Love. He is the first. Steve, I'm going to go to you straight away on this one, mate. What was going on, mate?
Rodgers just isn't really. I don't know. He's sort of been on and off, inconsistent this season. I think they wore that kit to try and throw off the Packers and make them throw up constantly because it's what I'd have done. Kraft had a great game, and on that as well, it's 143 yards. But it was also National Tight End Week last week, and tight ends managed to account for 23.4% of the touchdowns. Now, I haven't been bothered to go back and see if that's a high number or not for a tight end, but they seem to just eat when it comes to tight end week, which is just a random thing that's turned up. And as my boy Cameron's saying, Jordan Love is incredible. I'm starting to really enjoy. I drafted him in a few of my leagues, but I haven't started him up until like 2 weeks ago.
That's a question. I'm going to go from Lee first. How many fantasy football leagues are you in?
3.
Tom?
2.
Steve?
4.
I'm in 4 myself. Do you know what? I'm literally top on every one of them, bar one, and we don't need to go into that one. Okay, as you were, Steve. Sorry, mate.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying Jordan Love. He is really looking good. He's sort of looking to again follow Brett Favre and Rodgers himself.
Sorry, we have a comment here. Shelley, can you confirm if you threw up or not? Let us know. Please do. By that I mean over the Steelers kit, because it was the Broncos kit, you'd fall in love. Steve, as you were again. Sorry, mate.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, no, it's just Jordan Love. He's following Brett Favre and Rodgers. They've got something good in Jordan Love there.
Where is the love with Jordan Love?
Exactly, man. It's a good team, and like I said, 6-1-1. I'm one away from getting that correct.
Do you know if they get beat next week, mate? I'm gonna laugh my head off for the whole show. Okay, Tom, did you catch this one?
No, to be fair, I caught the very end of it. Like I say, I knew about Rodgers not winning, so that kind of wrecked his chances of beating all 32. But that's it. No, I didn't really catch too much of it other than that. The Steelers lost, and that's all good news.
Good job we're talking about the Chiefs, but that's absolutely fine. Don't worry, mate.
I didn't watch out either, if it helps.
Hang on. Wait there. I'd flag the kit for crimes against my eyeballs. Wow. I'm sure my wife said that when I sent her a picture before. Anyway, Lee, we're on to you, mate. What did you think of the Chiefs?
Right. So the Chiefs, you know what? I found the first half fascinating because, I mean, the Commanders started off with the ball. They got picked off. The Chiefs then got the ball. They got picked off. The Commanders then had the ball. Then it went turnover on downs. Chiefs got the ball back, turned over. The first quarter was just absolutely hilarious. They just couldn't better each other, and then yeah, I mean, then all of a sudden the Chiefs kicked in. You know, Rashee Rice starts scoring, and it was pretty impressive. Pretty impressive. So Shelley's just come back saying, "Yep, she definitely threw up."
How can you read that? Oh, I haven't displayed it yet. There you go. I'm going right there. Did you display that?
I displayed it. I displayed it for you.
You can do that. I'm meant to be the only one to do that. So it must have given you that because I got thrown off before. Oh, God, anything can be loaded up. Comment what you want, folks. Just nothing too bad. Right, okay, so that was week 8. And, you know, I said there wasn't much to talk about. Our program's usually an hour long, but we're an hour into it. Tom, how did you get into football? I want to know how long did you play for? How did you get into it?
So I've been an NFL fan for, I think this is 21 years.
Okay.
When I went to school, one of my mates, his dad had gone to college in America, picked up the sport, and just remember going around to his house. He had a copy of Madden. Obviously, I'm from Hull, so we play a lot of rugby. And thought, why are all these guys wearing pads? What's wrong with them? Played a bit of Madden, and the copy of Madden he had for Ravens had won the Super Bowl. So obviously, the exhibition game used to be the Super Bowl. So it was Ravens Giants. And I'm playing as Ravens, and don't know if you guys remember how long you've been fans, but Ravens' offense back then was horrifically bad, like just awful. We won a Super Bowl despite them, essentially, didn't they? And I remember saying to mates, like, do you know what? I don't think I want to be a fan of these guys. But like, they suck, basically. Why do I want to support these guys? This is before YouTube, but he found some videos on the internet of Ray Lewis doing Ray Lewis things. And then I thought, yeah, okay, now I'll stick with these guys. So yeah, I've been a Ravens fan for 21 years. My first jersey was a number 8, but it wasn't Lamar Jackson. It was Kyle Bowler. So that tells you how well that went. And then yeah, so for a long time, I've always wanted to try playing a bit of Britball, but I'd worked retail, always worked weekends. It was never going to happen. So a few years ago, I had a bit of a career change. Suddenly found myself with weekends free. As a man, nearly 40 and not in great shape, thought, why not give some sport a go? Let's give American football a try. So I walked down to Warhawks, try on. It was right towards the end of camp as well. And basically they had no defensive tackles. Took at me and said, you're quite a biggish guy, out of shape. There you go, get yourself a nose. So that's basically what happened.
I've defo gone up against you then, because I was O-line at Chester. I've defo gone up against you.
Wow. Did you play there the year before?
Yeah, the years, unfortunately, you guys went down.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We would have played against you then. Yeah.
So I was the guy with the really smelly uniform because we hadn't got beat at that point. Yeah. I have a right. Just now you've mentioned Madden, and I'm not saying who the team is before you even any of you even start. I went to watch a game once. It was a pre-season scrimmage, and I had a free Sunday, and I thought I'll go down and watch a game. Anyway, I'm listening to the plays that are getting called, and I went to my mate who was on. And again, I'm not saying either of the teams. I went, "Are they calling Madden 18 plays?" And he went, "What?" I went, "Listen to this." And he said a play, and he went, "That'll be a run play," and it was a run play. This team, and they were very, very new. That's all I'll give you. Is that they were using Madden 18 plays, and after 5 minutes, they got figured out, and it hit them hard.
Wow.
Yeah.
Rip ball. Now, I have to ask one more question, mate. Your favourite thing to happen while you were playing, or your funniest one or the other?
So we'd just been promoted when I first started playing. So obviously it was a step up, and first game of the season was Sheffield, I believe it was, who were fairly fancied. And we turned them over. We play at a place called Hilltop in Cottenham, near where we are, and it is a bit of a mud bath. And that was my first experience of it, going into it expecting us to get absolutely trounced, to be totally honest with you. And we somehow managed, I think we won 9-6, I think. It was one of those kind of games. So yeah, that was...
Hey, less of that, mate. I'm a delight to deal with. I won't even say some of the stuff I do when I play. I'll tell you a story about your team, right? And I can't remember the guy's name. There was an end, and he just kept on squeezing my arm. If we went past him, I'd be like, "Yo, and then when we scored a touchdown, I'd be like, "Get your head up!" And he's like looking at me like, "Which version of Mateo are you, mate? Are you being nice or are you being horrible?" Anyway, I've done like that. I've held a guy, and then I threw him, and I've laughed as I've ran off. As I've ran off, I've then hit a linebacker and got us a few yards. But then the whistle's gone. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. Your guy who's been squeezing my arm has clattered me in the back.
Right.
Now, we've only got 5 O-linemen. There's no reserves. There's D-linemen, but D-linemen don't want to play O-line.
Yeah.
So I'm on the floor, but I'm milking it because I'm seeing flags going everywhere. And I'm like, ref. So my coach is like, no. Runs over, goes, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, winky. I'm fine, mate. He's like, "Get up now. They're going to take it off the pitch. Get up now. Tell them you're winded." So I've got up, and that guy's like, "He's fine. He's just acting." The referee's turning the back, and I'm proper Eddie Guerrero. But no, it was a great game. To be fair, Humber have been really good guys to deal with, unlike other teams, but I won't go into that. But look, we're going to move on to week 9. We're going to try and skim past everything, boys, because we are an hour and 5 minutes into it on an hour show. Hey ho. Oh, hang on. Thumb to armpits, nipple cripples, stand on ankles. I don't do that. I've done a nipple cripple. I've never stood on an ankle.
How'd you get past? Well, I suppose you some.
Oh, mate, no. If you get your hands up like that, if you get your hands up the pad, most people have pads that don't fit them. You get your hands up and squeeze, mate. They let go of you straight away, mate. I can tell you some stuff. Mate, I played up against a guy at Surge. He's retired now, but he was playing until he was like 60. When he headbutt me, mate, I was seeing stars for about a week. Some of the stuff I learned from players like him, yeah, we've all got great stories on Britball. We could talk about it all week.
So what I'm hearing is that you liked grabbing nipples and Lee wanted his QB to rub his testicles.
Pretty much. Pretty much. Yeah.
Yes, that is
Yeah.
the O-line sort of mentality.
Yeah. Oh, mate, that's nothing. Have you done an initiation on the back of a coach? I've mentioned this before. At Holton Spartans, your initiation was drink a shot of vodka out of someone's ball sack who had a skin problem, or do a mystery shot of vodka. I did a mystery shot of vodka. It was chili vodka. My lips were like this, like it was mental. And then there were people like vomiting different colours. It was crazy. Right, we're gonna go on to week 9. So if anyone doesn't know how this works, I see the game. I'll ask you for who you think's gonna win. That's that. We've got the Dolphins against the Ravens. I think this is the perfect game for the Ravens. If Jackson is coming back, can the Dolphins get a second win? Hang on, wait there. Oh no, wait there. Cup checked a running back while in pile fight. I'm
I thought we
absolutely
were
not.
keeping this clean. We were keeping it clean.
I am not saying nothing. I am not admitting to anything. I am not saying nothing. Let's go. So Dolphins versus Ravens. I'm backing the Ravens on this. Lee, who are you going for here?
I've got the Ravens in this one. I think Lamar's back in this game. Let's see some magic back into that Ravens team.
Yeah, I agree. Tom?
Yeah, Ravens all day.
Easy win that, mate. Do you reckon?
2 scores at least.
Oh, okay.
Like it.
Steve?
Yeah, I've gone Ravens as well here. I think, I can't really see much from the Finns against that Ravens team. Now they've got Lamar back.
Okay, next up we got the Giants against the 49ers. Giants are hurting from that loss, obviously losing their guy. I'm going to back the Giants to win this week. Hang on, we've got another comment and I really dread to read this. The guys who were taught 3 points of contact when blocking left hand, right hand and crown helmet truly terrifying.
That's how I was taught. I was taught 3 points of contact. I know it's frowned upon, but
yeah,
it works.
Yeah. So I'm backing the Giants. I just think they're going to get it done this week. Steve, who are you backing?
I've copied you. I've gone the Giants. The Niners are quite injured, and I think the Giants are probably going to want to show up for Cam Scatterbo. He's going to be on the sidelines doing some nonsense. I'm sure of it.
I bet you. I promise you now. And I need to check if there's a better than I can do in this. He's on the sidelines in a wheelchair doing like 360s. Tom, what were you thinking, mate?
Yeah, Giants for me too. Same reasons. And I think we've still got some decent depth in the backfield to kind of somewhat overcome with Scatterbo. So I think, yeah, they'll be all right.
Okay, Lee?
Yeah, I think the team are going to get behind Scatterbo on this one and they're gonna do it for him. So Giants in this one for me.
Okay, I'll just change the pick that you originally gave me in the week. That's fine, not a problem, mate.
Whoa. I got you the right one.
I've got you on something else. Hang on.
Got it here.
I think Mateo makes them up sometimes.
Steve, who's leading the picks? We are halfway through the season now. You weren't here before, but it's Steve. I'm bottom. Lee second. That's that. It's a sore subject. There we are. Oh yeah, I've got another Coach Russ fan here. Coach Russ, you legend. Lucifer, do you want to come on next week, mate? Drop us a message. Love to get you on, buddy. Don't know who you are. If you are the devil, I've watched South Park. I've seen what you've done to Saddam Hussein. It's all forgiven. Anyway, then we're on to. Hang on, we've all picked, haven't we?
Yeah.
Yes. Then we're on to the Titans against the Chargers. Look, we did this last week. We're going to try this again after 3. You're going to say the team you think's to win, Titans or Chargers. 1, 2, 3. Chargers. Yes. Okay, we can move on from that one. I like that, but I will say we did all pick the Bengals last week, and look how that made us look. Moving on, we've got the Lions against the Vikings. I'm going to be going for the Lions here. I do think this would be a good game, to be fair. You know, I know Vikings have been very hit and miss this season, mainly more miss. But if there's any game for them to get a bit of thunder back, it's this one. Tom, who are you picking here, mate?
Lions, for all the same reasons I said, Vikes with QB issues. Although this is a classic trap game, especially with it being a divisional game as well. But yeah, no, you got to go with Lions.
Okay. I'm going with the. What's it say here? Mate, I'd love to, but I work security tonight. I'm in the office streaming on CCTV monitor. So, just to clarify, we've got someone who's watching us in America. My old boss, who's most probably watching us in his hot tub. And we're on CCTV security screens. If anyone else is watching at any random location, whether that be a bath, whether that be in your car, by all means, please let us know and we'll display the comment. And the funniest one will get a free Freddo bar. And they are not cheap, let me tell you that. Steve, who are you picking here, Lions or Vikings?
Yeah, Lions. They're just looking real good since week 1 when they had that awful start. But after that, they're looking a good squad.
Okay, Lee.
Yeah, I'm going Lions. I'm gonna make a bold statement out there. I think Amon-Ra St. Brown's going to get a hat trick in this game.
I'm in Plymouth is definitely the funniest comment of where you're watching it, mate. I'm in Widnes. No one even knows where Widnes is. Don't worry, you can find
We
it.
know where it is.
Oh, what's the team in Plymouth?
The Vanguard.
Vanguard, yeah. They started. I'm expecting good things from them next year. Because they started off okay and then kind of dipped. And yeah, I backed them too many times because Oz is a big fan of them. Okay, next up we've got the Patriots against the Falcons. Oh, hang on, we've got a comment here. We've got Zara Jones is watching it in the bathtub. We hope that bath is good and the rubber ducky's behaving. Okay, that's a great comment. I'd love to know what team Zara supports. And then we've got the we've got the Patriots against the Falcons. Look, I'd say all of us shout, but some of us may agree different. I can't see anyone else but the Patriots winning here. Lee, who are you picking here?
Yeah,
mate?
Patriots. You know,
Yeah.
May's on it. He's going to win it.
Okay, Tom.
Yeah, same pass for me.
Okay, and Steve.
Well, let's just go against everybody else. No, I've gone Falcons. I don't know. I just feel like there's going to be an upset this week, and maybe it's going to be this game. They've not been great recently, so they need to step something up.
Whoa.
Are you joking? You're paying this lady to say this right now, aren't you?
I'm not paying it. I'm skint, mate. I'm skint. Are you
You're
messing?
giving her a free Freddo. That's what you're giving her.
That's worthy of a Freddo. Broncos. Hang on. Broncos. We've got Vanguard Senior League, Blitz and Bucks on their game Sunday. Oh, sound. But hey, we've got another. Look, these Broncos fans are everywhere. They're the good people. Right. We just need to sort that out. Right. So we've got you picking the Falcons. Of course you are. You're that one and only. Right, then we've got the Steelers against the Colts. Look, I like the Steelers, despite that horrendous kit that I've yet to see, but I can't not back the Colts. The Colts have just been phenomenal. They've got the only team that came close for me to beating. Well, I mean, obviously they've had a few thingies, but was the Broncos. They beat us in like the last second of the game. Colts look really good for me. They've got to be considered one of the.
Oh, so you're saying, see you later, Matteo.
Let me add him to the stream again.
Oh my
There we
God,
go.
you're having a laugh, haven't you? I was giving an
Honestly,
empowering
mate.
speech there. I'm picking the Colts. Lee, who are you picking here, mate?
So I'm actually going to go against the grain. I'm going to go Steelers in this one. I think the Colts. You're going to see the turn in the Colts now because they've got a hard schedule coming up, and I think this is where we start seeing the Colts buckle. And so I'm going to go Steelers.
Can you send any of the drugs that you're on to my address, please, mate? Thank you. Tom, what about yourself, mate?
Well, funnily enough, I actually tend to agree. I think the Colts are flashing a little bit. But for this week and 1 week only, anybody but the Steelers, so I'll go Colts.
Are Broncos that bad that Matteo had to leave? Listen. Broncos have been beaten in the last second in 2 games this season. A little bit of luck either way. They could be, I'm not even getting in there. I'm not even biting. I've bit already. Who are we on to? Steve, who you picked?
Yeah, I've gone Colts, but I did put the caveat on my notes that the Steelers defense could have the answer here, and I think the same. Like the Colts, Daniel Jones can't just keep being good. There's something's got to happen somewhere. But no, I've gone for the Colts for now. But
okay,
I do agree that I think they're going to fall off of the cliff pretty soon.
Okay, well, next week, the next game that we have, potentially game of the week. I say this every week: the Denver Broncos against them Texans. Of course, I'm going for the Broncos. Will we start in the first quarter? Will we start in the fourth quarter? Find out in the next episode of Dragon Ball Z. But I'm going for the Denver Broncos. Lee, who are you picking here, mate?
Yeah, I can't see anyone winning this apart from the Broncos.
Okay. Tom?
I actually think it would be game of the week. I think this might be one of the tightest ones.
Hey?
You could flip a coin on this one. I will go Broncos because I do think.
Is Steve paid you to say this to get a bite?
No much chance, man. No, it'll be close, but I think the Broncos will pip it. But I do think it'll be very, very, very close. This one.
I can neither confirm nor deny that Zara has bought a car off me and I've given a jersey to secure the deal. I'm not going to confirm or deny that. I will speak to my lawyer and I'll get back to that one next week. Steve, who are you backing here, mate?
It still hurts me to say, but obviously I'm going Broncos. I mean, you guys are 2 field goals away from being 8-0. Like you are a solid squad, and like you said, who knows what quarter you're going to decide to turn up.
Okay, I don't know who Curtis is, but you need to.
Curtis is her new boyfriend. I can say this because I know Shelley.
Oh well, Shelley, my advice is get a new boyfriend. Anyway, moving on. Bengals against the Bears. It's not a game that interests me. I'm gonna pick the Bengals because they might be embarrassed licking the wounds after last week. I don't know. That's all I've really got to say in it. Steve, I'm gonna go to you for this one.
Yeah, this is another one where I'm not all that bothered. I ended up picking the Bengals. It was a toss of a coin again, and my girlfriend finds it funny to wind me up about the Bengals, so I just thought, you know what, let's just pick the Bengals instead of asking her.
Okay. Tom?
Yeah, unfortunately, I think the Bengals, the Bears' secondary is clapped out. So I think Mr. Elite Flacco is going to have a bit of a field day.
We've got Lucifer, who's the Bears for life. Unlucky, mate. Well, don't put that one on the screen. It might break it. I'm sorry, mate. I had to say that. Lee, who are you backing here, mate?
I'm going Bengals as well.
Okay.
I think that loss to the Jets last week was a bit of a blip. I think their defense is gonna have a strong look in the mirror and see if they can keep them at bay a little bit, just whilst Joe Flacco's doing his thing on offense and putting up the points.
Okay. Next up, we got the Packers against the Panthers. I think we're all going to do this on 3. So it's Packers or Panthers. 1, 2, 3. Panthers.
Oh my god!
So don't ask me why. I just think it's going to happen.
You just want my predictions to be wrong, don't you?
That too. That too. One of my friends is a really big Panthers fan, and I'm sure he's sick and tired of me slating them. I don't know why, and if it happens, our group chat is gonna go absolutely mental, chicken oriental. Next up, we got the Rams against the Saints. Look, is anyone going to pick the Saints? No. Moving on. And oh god, this is the comedy of the week on this one. The Raiders. They had a bye week last week, and all the Raiders fans I knew were putting the bye week 130-3. Yeah, I don't. Raiders. They've got a few big weeks coming up. Can they salvage what is an already terrible season? I'm going to be backing the Jaguars on this one. I'm going to go to State. Who are you picking here, mate? The Jags or the Raiders?
Yeah, I'm picking the Jags. I mean, again, they have been on and off this season, but as anyone from the West, we all hate the Raiders. So let's watch them lose and watch them all cry. It'd be funny.
I've got a coach and a friend who's a big Raiders fan. Do I call him at 3:00 in the morning? I don't know. I'll think about it. Tom, who are you picking here, mate?
Yeah, Jags. ECN, I think, will be the guy. I think he'll have a big game.
Okay. Lee?
Yeah, I'm going with the same as you guys, the Jags. I think the Jags are coming off their bye week as well, and I think they're going to come out a little bit stronger, a little bit more hungrier, and they're going to put it onto the Raiders.
I back Spartan Bulldogs first week. Mate, fair. That's a great comment. Next up, we got the Bills against the Chiefs. Lee, who are you backing here, the Bills or the Chiefs?
From what Steve said earlier, the Bills obviously not having a competitive game that they've won so far. I think this is going to be their first competitive game that they're going to win. So I'm going to be backing the Bills.
Okay, Tom.
Hate to say it, but the Chiefs.
Yeah.
There's an air of
inevitability
about
it.
I hate it, but it's just Rice coming back has made a big difference.
Yes, definitely.
They look like the Chiefs of old, which is concerning. Chiefs.
All right. They'll get spanked in a few weeks twice by the Broncos. We've got a great comment by Lucifer. He thinks Chiefs but close. Okay. Steve, who are you picking, mate?
I put it this way: Andy Reid, when we win games, he likes to go and get himself a Big Mac. So I reckon he might be going for 2 Big Macs after we win this game. But what I will say is, as a guy who likes numbers and probabilities and that, if we're going to lose to the Bills, I'd rather it be in the regular season, and then we can go beat them in the postseason. I'd rather do that, but I'm still picking the Chiefs.
I'm backing the Bills.
Man.
I'm backing the Bills. Yeah, let's see what happens. It's going to be a good game to watch. Then we've got the Commanders who've just been awful, unfortunately, against the Seahawks. I'm backing the Seahawks on this one. I'm going to go to Steve first. Are you backing on this one?
I think I backed the Seahawks. At the beginning of the season, I had high hopes for the Commanders, but nothing seems to have happened really for them.
No,
They
after them first 4 games, it's just been bad.
They can't seem to hold on to a ball. There's fumbles constantly. It's just I don't know what's going on there. So yeah, Seahawks for me.
Yeah. Tom?
Yeah, Hawks. I've got a soft spot for them this year. I said to Steve a few weeks ago, they're my dark horses for the league this year. Mike McDonald, who should be the Ravens head coach, unfortunately, isn't the Ravens head coach. Yeah, I think Seahawks.
Okay, and last but by no means least, Lee.
Yeah, I'm going to Hawks as well. I just think they've got a better team. You know, Jaden Daniels is not been fit for the last few games. Mariota, if he is playing, he's absolute trash. But I think Jaden Daniels is starting this game, but I just can't see him being competitive straight off.
Okay, and last but by no means least, we've got them boys, the Cowboys against the Cardinals. I'm going to be backing the Cowboys here. That was a tough loss for them to have against a very, very brilliant Denver Broncos team, if you don't mind me saying. But yeah, I'm going to be backing the Cowboys. I'm going to go to Lee.
I'm with you, Cowboys. I think you know they have a better performance in them, and they're going to want to show out on offense, and hopefully their defense show up and again keep some points out. So yeah, Cowboys.
Okay, and Steve, Tom, you're last. Don't worry.
So as I pointed out in week 6, it's still happening. The Cowboys have yet to have a repeat result. So they lost last week. So the Cowboys are going to win this week. But what I do find really funny, I keep seeing memes everywhere. The one thing that the Cowboys are missing are a pass rusher. It's almost as if they did something stupid before the season.
Would you, Adam, and Eve it? Tom, by no means last, mate. Who do you think is going to win this one?
Yeah, boring, clean sweep. I think the boys winning quite comfortably, actually, to be honest.
Have we all got a Cowboys friend that we love winding up when they get beat?
Yeah.
Fortunately, not.
No.
Oh, mate, find one. The funny. Just put in your group chat. Anyone a Cowboys fan? Yeah, right. You're getting loads of abuse. And just like that, folks, week 9, we're done. Lock in them fantasy football teams. Go in. Make sure you haven't got any players starting or on a bye week or injured. Like I've got Scatterbo in all my teams, which is hurting me, apart from the one that I don't really care about.
What's your plan for the Broncos bye week in our league, by the way?
I don't know if you noticed, I've actually started doing some trades already.
Have you?
Oh. Yeah. Do you know what? For anyone who doesn't know, this is our first season doing this. Next year, the idea is we publish a full fantasy football league, so you can take the mick out of us week in, week out. And I picked all my players to be Denver Broncos players, like the right idiot that I am. But week 9 looks really good. It's getting to a very tasty part of the season. Tom, thank you very much for coming on. We'd love to get you back on again. I always say the same thing. One more year, you've got it. Do you think about it?
No, I absolutely jacked up my hip. So I think it's beyond me now. Thoughts is here, and yeah, it's not pretty. Well,
because we've had multiple disconnections, we're going to start from the bottom and work our way up. Is that a lyric? Maybe. I don't know. So thank you very much, folks. We hope to see you next week. I've been Matteo.
I've been Steve.
I've been Tom.
And I've been Lee.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Again, thank you for everyone who's commented. Thank you everyone who's liked and so on and so forth. We will see you next week.